Good evening, traders. This will be a brief analysis for the beginning of next week. This is Sunday night. This will be for trading on the 10th of July. That's tomorrow, Monday. Bear in mind, you have two big numbers coming out this week, CPI, PPI, and I don't know what had occurred here on Friday after I left my last video with you guys. I talked about how to use momentum and helping you make really good decisions around some of these levels. But something had occurred at around 12:30. I don't know if it was something global. I don't know. It was just market jitters. But when I left, we were trading around ES 44.50, and I talked the possibility of it marking it up. I totally forgot about the gap up higher that they left from a couple of days ago on that huge sell-off earlier last week. But they took care of that, and then they just fell off the cliff at 12:30, and they fell hard all the way down to key support in both markets. Nasdaq, I think, was up 200 at the point. They dropped 200 points, and the Dow was actually trying to roll towards the 50. So pay close attention. I don't know. This market has continued to hold up, and every time it comes to any significant level, it has really held its own. But once again, they're testing the waters, and you need to pay attention to it. And it's 37. It remains the key to the game. And you can see this MA coming in right at 44.50, and that's actually beautiful. That's the trend line, and that's tomorrow's pivot. I'd watch that location significantly tomorrow if you get it in the morning. If they run it up, or if that's where they're at some point, I'd watch that. Uh, Underneath you have, I think S1 is at 44.20, and that was this low right here. So I think anything under here, and this thing could probably start to roll. Obviously 4400 is going to be a big deal, and there's just nothing but space down here. But also, and I just bring this to your attention because I see this all the time and I always pay attention to it. Gaps get filled, not always the next day, and not always sometimes. In this case, this one's probably been weeks, but there's a big one, and that's like from 43, let's call it 50. The high here is 23, but the settlement was 04, so it's 50 to 04. That is gap that we have yet to fill on a downside. I'm not saying we're going there. I'm just saying pay attention to it because if they roll, they'll pick up steam, and that's probably a location. And if in fact they do start to roll all the way down to 4,300, this would be your target, 4280, which is your, I bet it's got to be the 50. It's a 50 MA in this market as well. So pay attention to locations. Once again, the Nasdaq one got down to 15,150. That was a big deal a couple of days ago. I'd watch that early tomorrow. You can see they're kind of fighting these MAs right now. It's too early. I don't know how this is going to play out overnight in Europe. We'll just have to see how this plays out in the bell. It doesn't make a difference because at 8:30 our time, they're just going to move it to where they want. So that's the beauty of it. If they open hard to the downside, I would expect them to come in and prop it up, squeeze out the shorts, bring it back up, and then if they want out, they'll get out. Same goes to the upside. If they rally them up and they open gap higher on either markets, I would look for the markets to fade at those extremes, but make sure you get confirmation in either direction. All right, that's just all I've given you is the big picture, and it's important to take a look at the big picture. But the numbers really match up really, really well. But right now, it's just about these MAs, and they rammed them and they closed down to them. So I don't know if they're anticipating some bad numbers to come out this week or they're just jitters. We don't know. So you're going to see how this plays out in the next 3 days. I think there's a really big numbers for the markets as a whole. So be patient and trade with confidence. Pay attention to these locations. Whenever you are ready to engage, make sure you get confirmation in that direction and stay with it. Good luck trading, guys. Have a great week. Take care.